state, death of this life, and the consciousness is roaming between, not taking the next life. That period is called Pardo, the intermediate. And Tudul means in that state, if that intermediary person could listen to this book, the person would be the person would be reborn in good realms. And otherwise, it may reborn in a bad realms. So that was the book. Although I have not read in detail, but the basic subject in that book is explanation of how the intermediary period will pass through the consciousness, and how many illusions will appear, how many fear would be appear, and how many obstacles would be appear, and how to deal with them in order to not reborn in a lower realms, get a good rebirth in higher realms. That gives many kind of methods and strategy to be adopted by the consciousness, which is in intermediary stage, the Pardu stage. So I don't think the Tibet Book of Dead would talk about whether coming back on the earth or reborn or not reborn. Because in accordance with the Buddhist concept, any person who is not getting the elevated stage, that means the Aryahood. Aryahood means who have seen the ultimate reality through direct perception. Everyone has to take rebirth. Now, Pardo Thudul is the basic book to help those persons who are in intermediate state how to get a good rebirth in the realm of humanity or devas or angels, not reborn in the hell or animal kingdom. So this was the basic purpose of the Tibet Book of Dead. And which is also not for everyone. It is connected with those people who have certain degree of practice in Tantrayana, doing practice of some particular deity or some particular tantra. To those, this book is immensely useful. Therefore, it becomes a habit to the many of Tibetan community. When someone is died, a priest or a monk is invited immediately and to read loudly the Pardu Thudur. thinking that it might be audible, it might be heard by the consciousness who is in the intermediate state. Particularly, the consciousness comes out of the previous body and immediately enter into the intermediate body. Intermediate body is not a solid body, but it is an embodiment of mind and mental energies, very subtle. So that moment is very crucial for realizing or for lazing to a good karma, not lazing to a bad karma. Each one has stores of good karma and bad karma both. At the time of death, and particularly in the intermediate state, there are ways to stimulate good karma and not stimulate bad karma. So bad karmas can be postponed and good karmas can be stimulated to be resulted immediate next life. So that immediate next life could be in a good realm and also continue the practice of the dharma, the sadhana, whatever the diseased used to practice in this life can be continued. This was the basic purpose of Tibet Book of Dead. And of course, it has very detailed descriptions of the situation of intermediate state. When a person is in the intermediate state, how long it can be in the intermediate state. And each 7 days, the person has to again go through experience of death. And if not finding the next rebirth, then again it enters into another intermediate body. And this can be prolonged for 7 weeks, and after 7 weeks, then the dead person shall have to find a rebirth, whether in the good realm or bad realm. So due to this principle, the families of the diseased person do religious activities and prayers till 7 weeks, and then 7 weeks are completed, they would do the final prayers. So it is in accordance with the description of the intermediate state. In the Abhidhamma Kosha, as well as other treatises and the Book of Dead, they are all talking the same. So I think the early translations were not very good translation, I was told, although I have not read. So it has several retranslations, and the later translations might be better to read. That's all.
Ďakujeme veľmi pekne, že sme aspoň tak, jak sa hovorí, jedným okom nakúkli do niečoho, čo asi nemusíme sa v tom nejako vrtať, ono to príde, aby sme skôr teraz počas života robili, čo treba, aby sme ako potom ľahko odchádzali, jak to v tých váhach je, aby to srdce bolo ľahšie, jak vtáčie pierko, aby doslova sme boli bezstarostní a aby sme ako odchádzali s radostnou, proste odhodnení a viac sústredený na tú duchovnú dimenziu. V podstate celý tento program dnešný bol viac menej orientovaný na duchovnú dimenziu, na vnútornú cestu alebo duchovnú cestu. A ja veľmi pekne ďakujem obom rečníkom, že sa s nami podelili o svoju múdrosť. Zároveň na záver máte možnosť ešte klásť otázky jednému i druhému. Ešte. Áno.
Ja sa chcem spýtať, či pozná pán Kozák knihu 7 zverských sfér, ktoré pojednávajú práve o ceste duše jednotlivými sférami práve podľa toho, čo stvára počas zerského existovania. Autor je neznámy.
Já nevím, máte tím na mysli moderní text nebo kopský text?
No asi ten moderný, alebo ku kopskému som povedala ako asi ten moderný, ktorý je normálne dostupný na pultoch, ale každopádne bol veľmi zaujímavý.
Tak ten jsem nečetl. Jinak právě těchto textů, těch tradičních, až překvapivých je hodně. A je vlastně otázka, na základě čeho byl vytvořen.
A čo ste sa teda vy dozvedel? Ako je to s tými sférami?
No, že potom dál samozřejmě duše těmi, když se už tedy nevrací sem, těmi jednotlivými sférami prochází, protože vývoj pokračuje dál a právě například Pisty Sofie je v tomhletom velmi přesná. Tam vlastně Ježíš říká, že cílem je, aby duše vstoupila do takzvané pokladnice světla. A tam vlastně teda by její vývoj měl končit. V podstatě tam jde o splynutí s Bohem.
Neviem, teda nechcem svojimi otázkami tu obsadiť celý časový priestor, ale neviem, môžem ešte?
Áno, môžeš ešte.
Lebo bolo tam také sympatické na tom, že vlastne tá dušička dostávala stále šancu, že prichádzalo aj to pekné svetielko, nie len to kaolné, hej. A tá dušička mala šancu sa teda rozhodovať.
No určitě, bylo by to například právě tady ta koncepce v podstatě toho nuceného návratu, ta nevypadá příliš jakoby prospěšná pro duši, protože vlastně podle těch různých učení se naopak vracíme do situací, které právě duše potřebuje ke svému vývoji. Takže například právě egyptská kniha mrtvých, ale našli by se určitě i další, toto řeší, že jsou tam takzvaná pole blažených, kde právě čekám na to, až bude možné se vtělit. Takže se nevtěluju prostě v nějaký konkrétní nebo do nějakého konkrétního času.
I just have a last question for His Holiness. I would like to ask you, if you have two options how to try to reach enlightenment, should I repeat again?
Take this out.
If you have just two options how to try to reach enlightenment, let's say the first one is the peaceful way of Brahmacharya, the full retreat, and the second way is, let's say, the way of immense suffering. Which way would you choose?
Can you repeat? I was listening. Can you repeat your question?
So if you have two options how to try to reach the enlightenment.
Enlightenment.
Enlightenment, yes. And the first way is peaceful way of Brahmacharya, of full retreat. And the second way is the way of immense suffering. Which way would you choose?
He chose.
I think the question is just assumption of choice. I do not see for the achievement of enlightenment, there are two different ways. Both ways shall have to be practiced. A great deal of Bodhisattvacharya, that means the efforts of a Bodhisattva in the process of getting Buddhahood or enlightenment. In that process, the practice of 6 paramitas or 10 paramitas, and in which a great deal of suffering, sacrifice, and effort is necessary. The shorter way is entering into a Vajrayana instead of 3 countless aeons to practice Bodhisattvacharya for achievement Buddhahood. The Vajrayana can give you within a lifetime. But that is not a choice. You have to prepare yourself to be qualified to enter into a Vajrayana, the Tantra. How to make a qualified? The qualified is not choosing the easier or short way, but seeing the suffering of the entire sentient being. There's no time, no justification to wait three countless eons of time. Due to the force of compassionate mind and loving kindness, which is in a great hurry to serve the entire sentient being. And on the contrary, for Bodhisattva oneself, the Bodhisattva is ready to spend more than uncountable years in the practice of Bodhicharya, but it is due to the urgency of the sentient being's side that that Bodhisattva, the person, has to choose the shorter life, the shorter path. The shorter path does not mean is free from obstacles or free from hard work. It has much harder work and it has much more obstacles, but the skillful means which the Tantrayana has given can overcome. So having said that, I consider there's no two different ways two different ways. One is easier and one is more difficult to reach to the enlightenment. There are only one singular path to reach enlightenment, in which a combination of both the good deeds and the wisdom, and also the practice of loving kindness, all these processes shall have to be completed equally.
Ja by som chcela vysloviť jednu takú otázku, respektíve prosbu človeka, ktorý nás tu ako chráni svojím spôsobom pri dverách, a on hovoril také želanie, že by veľmi rád chcel, ako keby profesor Rinpoche viedol meditáciu. Tak, či máme tam nejaké ešte málo času, nevidím na hodinky, a či by sme si takú malú meditáciu spoločne neurobili.
Alebo mantru.
No. Možno 5 minútovú, 5 minút.
Okay. The request if you could lead some mantra or something for 5 minutes before we finish the day.
Meditation is to be done by individuals, and I cannot lead just like a procession as a meditation. We can sit quietly for a few minutes, and each one should meditate his or her own way of meditation. And it will be a joint meditation by all of us. So I ask you to be quiet and meditative. Om